Well, it might just be me, but now that the sun is shining into our homes, all the piles of clutter are really starting to suffocate me. If you're feeling overwhelmed by clutter and you don't know where to start, we're here for you. Well, not just us, but professional organizer Raychel Klein is here to help us. Thank you so much for coming in to share these things, because I think for everyone, it really can be to a point where you don't even know where to start. But that's what you're here to help us with.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I mean, it's one of those things where I think, you know, you've got so much, but you have 5 ways to tackle this clutter. And let's get started with just your main theory, which is like, don't go crazy, just pick one drawer.
Start with a drawer. Before you empty your pantry, your closet, warm up with a drawer.
Okay.
I always suggest a junk drawer. It's full of odds and ends. It's a great way to get your feet wet before you tackle a really big project.
And a junk drawer usually has everything that ends up in your house in there, so it is actually something you can do and you feel really accomplished afterwards, right?
Exactly. You'll find the weirdest things in there and you'll realize, okay, I can tackle something bigger after I've done this.
Any tips for how to organize a junk drawer?
So first of all, this is our junk drawer here. You want to take everything out.
Okay.
So everything. So I've curated this a little bit. But
obviously, it's okay. It's TV.
Yeah, so before you put things back in, what you want to do is edit. Make sure everything in here serves a purpose and also it's in the right space. So right now let's just start with this little compartment. I can see like a user manual, like maybe probably don't need this like weird cardboard. We definitely want to keep scissors and Sharpies, and you want to keep them together with other pens.
Okay.
This Play-Doh, you're like, how did this even get in here?
Right.
And then protein bar, definitely a keeper, but probably belongs in the pantry.
In the pantry, yes.
Right. So, and also just random Ziploc.
Okay.
So definitely edit, 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 and then once everything has been determined that needs to belong here, determine the best way to store the item so that it remains neat.
Okay. And that's what these cool things are for.
I like to use these little individual bins to keep my pens in place. But what you can also do is get one of these little drawer dividers. It's a little less fussy, and you can just do like office supplies on one side, other miscellaneous items on the other side. But whatever is easy for you to keep under control.
This is sturdy too. This isn't like one of those flimsy plastic ones. This thing is not moving.
It'll stay in place.
Okay.
Well, the idea is that it doesn't need to be perfect all the time, but every time it gets unruly, it doesn't take more than 5 minutes to reset.
Okay, that's great. And it's so true that that junk drawer always ends up with things, and those user manuals, you know you have one for your, Palm Pilot and you don't need it anymore. All right, let's move on to clothing, because I think that's where I get most frustrated. Because of the job I do, I have to have a lot of clothing, and it really seems overwhelming. But I love what you've done here.
Yeah, so my clients struggle a lot with clothing space. T-shirts and leggings especially, they just tend to have a lot of them. Of course, edit first, but one of my favorite tips is to fold and file your clothing so that it's standing upright.
And you can see what it is.
You can see exactly what it is. You can fit more in the same space.
Okay.
So what we can do here, I can show you how to file fold.
I'm ready for file folding. This is, okay.
Here, I can take this one. This one's for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
So what I
Teach me your ways.
So lay the item flat.
Okay.
And then what I like to do is sort of eyeball the width of the container it's going to be in.
Okay, I see that.
And you fold in the sides.
All right.
Just kind of to the container width. Kind of same thing. Then fold in half.
Okay.
And then in half again.
Oh, all right.
And then that's it. And you can just put it right in.
See, you know what? I worked in retail early in my days, and so my folding I'm pretty proud of, but I love that, and these are easy bins to store and pull out. Okay, let's move on to the playroom, because that is a place that most of us have just junk lying around everywhere. I step on a Lego, it's horrible. So what have you got here?
So one of my space-saving tips for the playroom, especially for board games, is to ditch the original packaging and put everything in zippered pouches. So,
okay. Okay.
So this game, all of its contents is in here, and you can see how much less space it takes up.
All right, you just blew my mind. I'm done. You can leave now. You've done everything you need to do. No, oh my, this is so great. And even like the larger pieces of these games.
Exactly. And these, especially the blocks, They come in these boxes that you have to put in the right configuration or else the box doesn't close, and it's super frustrating.
It is. It's like playing Jenga with the actual game into the
it's
box.
like a game before the game. And then you can also do this with puzzles.
Oh, puzzles as well. Great
So
idea.
putting the picture
and can
in
you write, would you write just maybe in Sharpie or something on here what the game is so you don't have to open it up?
Yeah, I would write the game name, or
Okay.
like this one has the picture, so it's pretty
So you don't even need that. Okay. All right, finally we've got our office supplies over here. I was just telling you before we got started, my desk looks like there's an ancient like octopus coming out of it because there's just cords everywhere.
Yeah.
But what is this thing? What is this? A cocoon grid? What's it called?
It's a banded board. I mean, I always tell people take the 30 seconds to store your cords properly after you use them. You'll be so thankful. Like you said, you won't find an octopus or some other tangled creature deep in the drawer. The banded board is one of my favorite ways to store. You sort of just roll it in itself and then shove it where it can fit.
So, okay, take the time to handle the cords. 30 seconds before I let you go. What are some of the mistakes or ways we mess up when it comes to tackling clutter?
Just not getting started. I think people, they just get overwhelmed and don't know what to do. Start with a drawer and work your way through it.
All right.
Don't be afraid.
Thank you so much for all your help, for all your
Thanks.
advice. This one here, I can't wait. I'm getting started with this at home today. I appreciate it. All right.